Why, hello there, my beautiful little viewers. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely, fulfilled day. This is a spontaneous one because, bear with, 2 secs, let's pop this down. Also, this is actually really exciting. This is the new Lemure Earth range, which I'm going to be showing you basically when we get to our destination. Bear with 2 seconds. But it's exciting because Winnie is going for her first ever outing today, essentially. Her first ever arena hire. Obviously, she's been away to like the breakers and stuff, but she's never been to a pony party. Now, the plans were initially just for Jam Bam, who is also coming with us. Hey, Jam Bam! Because I have entered her for Gatcombe the 100 in 2 weeks' time. And I was like, I haven't properly jumped since Badders, and I haven't jumped 100 since last year. I haven't successfully jumped 100 since last September, to be even more precise. So I was like, look, Jam needs to go out and jump round. So I was like, I need to hire arena because mine has gotten a bit deep, we're lacking some rain. And also it's just sometimes nice to go and jump like in a different environment, because sometimes they react a little bit differently, don't they? And then we thought, hold the phone. Winnie is back home now and going quite sweetly. So why don't we just pop her on? And as you can see, she's so enthusiastic. She literally can't wait, guys. So yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? Winnie is famously quite fresh, can be a little bit bronky, but is also making me really excited recently because we've started jumping her literally teeny weeny, and I think she's going to be quite good. So I'm very excited to see how she goes today. Potentially it might just be one of those ones where you just walk, try and canter around the arena if she's literally got her eyes on stalks and is uncontrollable. Equally, if she's feeling all right, I'd quite like to pop over a few jumps. So I'm going to finish brushing them, load them up, and we'll see you at... You guessed it, it's Lincoln, guys, because we don't actually have that many places around us, but luckily Lincoln is beautiful, so it works out okay. On the road, in fact, very much on the road, very nearly there, and you can see we've got Jam Bam there, and Winnie Pooh is a lot harder to see because she's grey. But they were both very, very good. They've travelled really nicely. Winnie went straight up, which is really good. This is quite a momentous trip, isn't it, Hobby?
It is.
Because we've got mother-daughter here, and we've got mother-daughter in the back. Oh my God! Oh, there's a car. Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, Winnie is actually Jam's daughter. So we bred Winnie when Jam was 4. And so yeah, she's very special. She's been with us the entire time. Obviously, she's gone away to be broken because Girlie's a bit of a wimp and Winnie was a little bit exuberant, but she's now back. She is 5 in
July next month.
Is it July 7th?
I think it is. Something like that.
July 7th, so yeah.
7th or 9th, one of those.
I think
it's the
it's 7th. So yeah, she'll be 5 next month, which is cool. So it's very exciting to be taking her out for her first ever arena hire. This is like the bit with youngsters I absolutely love. I don't really like the whole breaking bit because I find it, like I said, a bit scary, and I don't like the unknown, and getting on a horse for the first time that's never had a ride on its back is very unknown. So thankfully we have Bex to do that for us. But as soon as like you're past that bit, I love the going out to, do we know them or are we just waving?
No, we're just waving, so thank you.
Yeah, I love the like starting the schooling and going out jumping for the first time. Bizarrely, I'm more nervous to jump Jam a metre than I am to jump Winnie for the first ever time away from home. So that's just how my little brain works. Anyway, we're here now, guys. Welcome to Lincoln. Shout out Lincoln Equestrian. We use this venue an awful lot, and I imagine we'll start using it even more because hopefully Winnie will be up for doing some little showsies. Can we in focus? I don't know. And some clicks, yeah. My aim for this year with Winnie is to try and get to one day event at the end of the season. Maybe.
Anywhere in mind?
No, hopefully a Cotswold Cup one. Oh, in the field. Right, guys. Oh, you're not going in the field. I think cones blocking a drive tend to mean don't go down it. Oh well, you've committed now.
I'll just field.
It's alright.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I think You've committed, it's fine. Honestly, guys. Reckless.
Maybe there's an in and out.
Reckless with a capital R, you are, Hobbit. Just through the marquee there, you'll be fine.
Right. Let's stop paying attention.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right, I'll swap you there. Swap. Do you want me to hold the bar?
I think we'll be alright.
You ready?
Come on in, Jam Jam.
Go.
Wait there, my little chicken.
She's not got too hot, has
She hasn't. She's survived
she?
life travelling with mummy.
With mummy.
Mummy and Dad, Mummy and baby.
Where's Daddy? Daddy's long gone.
Little outing for Mummy and baby. That's so cute, isn't it?
Two mummies and two babies.
Ah, like you're holding the right ones as well.
Yeah, I bagsy the mummy one.
Yeah, I'd always bagsy the mummy one.
Hey, I'm impressed with it. Well done. Quick apology for potentially very bad sound on this vlog, guys. It's windy and I lost my wind defender when I was in Portugal. So she naked little camera at the minute. We've got the top grooms tacking up Winnie Pooh there. I can't quickly talk to you about this brand new saddle pad. This is from the new Lemure Earth range. So this is their way of making things more sustainable and trying to protect our planet. It's actually linked up with ecology, which means every single one that's purchased, they're going to be planting a tree for. So it's an amazing way of getting a really nice bit of kit from reused materials, and you're also helping the planet because they're going to be planting loads and loads of trees. So highly recommend heading over to the Lemure website to get your hands on the saddle pad. They've also got this really nice t-shirt underneath, which I was planning on sporting the entire time. However, it's June, and as you can probably tell from the severe wind noise, it's freezing cold. Guys, having a seaman disaster. Delivery is not coming through.
Right. Well, I tell you what I think the
Things that you were
thing
keeping
is,
there for later.
Right, yeah.
I'm in the
But
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get
this is just an insight into AI. Hilarious. Trying to arrange seamen being shipped across the country. It's just part of our everyday life now, guys. Funny. As soon as you do a video about it. Right, I'm going to go on a pony. I don't know which pony first. Ip dip do. Who do you
This one,
reckon?
I like this one. All aboard a Winnie!
Look how good she's being, guys. What a little angel.
So, did you not show the bit where she just decked you in the car park?
No, didn't have that. Didn't
Yeah, cut that bit out.
Pony Club mums.
So cute. She's standard Pony Club mom not watching.
I hate these Pony Club rallies.
It's voiceover time. I'm afraid that wind noise was just a little bit too much, but doing voiceover is good because it means that I can actually react to how it looks rather than just how it felt at the time. So she had a good walk, trot, canter around. I kind of showed her everything, and then it was time to introduce the fences. Now, I think sometimes we can be a little bit guilty when we take babies away to school hire for the first time when we're jumping. We're kind of just like, we're here for jumping, so let's jump. But I do think it's very important to actually go back to basics, give them the benefit of the doubt. So that's why I walked her through these poles to start with, and then obviously came around in trot because she reacted really well to them. If she was the type to be very spooky or just not very confident with jumps, I'd have probably taken all the poles away, gone through just the wings, and then started adding the poles and walk, and then build up to trot. But you can see, she reacted so well with the walking, so yeah, she just came around and had a little trot through them. We then had a last canter around again before we jumped, just because she felt a little bit like potentially her back was up. She was a little bit tense, so I thought, give her one more canter to try and avoid any broncs. You can see here, she's still just so green. She's at that kind of stage where it's like start, stop. It's basically all she knows. You can see she's starting to kind of come a little bit rounder and everything, and to be fair, this was filmed 2 weeks ago. She's already improved from this point. She's started to learn long and low a little bit, but there's no escaping the fact that she is incredibly green and, I don't know, donkey-like at the minute. Okay, are you ready for the first ever jump?
Something on how bloody bossy she is.
Oh, Meg's just getting told off by Hobbs. Oh, Hobbs, you're actually right in my way. I'm joking.
This is why she keeps saying she's going to retire. We've got to be nicer.
Why, I'm not coming to any more of these things ever.
You love it.
First ever jump away from home. Little bit of shade from Hobbit there at the start, but there we go. Her first jump. Now, I know what you're thinking. That was incredibly uninspiring, Meg. And yes, to the untrained eye of Winnie, you'd say that was quite uninspiring. But for me, the first outing with babies is so much about willingness. I couldn't care if she came and knocked every single fence down. If she's willing to go and learn, I think that is more than half the battle with horses. So her popping around with dangly legs, having poles like this, being wobbly, literally not a problem at all, because she's doing what I'm asking her to and she doesn't really understand why. So I think that is just a thing to be celebrated with baby horses. You've got to take all of the little wins. So we just continued going around, building confidence over these little cross poles, trying to do a few sort of meeting in canter, but again, she's so green that mostly we met them in trot because I didn't want a real disaster to kind of happen. Now, the good thing about Lincoln is that when you hire the arena, you get both arenas. So there's this one and the one over there, which has got little cross-country fences. Oh, look at that! See, it's moments like that where I just think, my word, you're going to be such an epic little event horse. It's all in there, guys. It's just, you can't always see it when they're babies. It doesn't always come out every single time you go over a fence. But really positive, and you can see she's improving, like, just within this session, which is what we're looking for. So yeah, as I said, they've got little cross-country fences in here, so I decided to have a cheeky little pop round because they had all the diddy ones out, and I thought it would just be a really good way of sort of introducing cross-country fences, but in a very safe manner. It's those little glimpses there. Did you see her back end over that fence, guys? Like, it's just those tiny moments that you're looking for in youngsters that you think, oh, actually, like, you're going to be quite smart. She's definitely got quite a ping to her, and once she's, you know, that little bit older and a bit stronger, I think that she's going to improve really, really rapidly with some sort of grid and gymnastic works. She reminds me so much of Jam at her age. Like, Jammy was very, very dangly. You wouldn't have thought she was going to be a talented jumper at all. Oops. So this was I think the only stop she had. She actually tried to run out. So there's a line of fences along the fence line there. And yeah, she thought about running out, and I kind of wanted to nip it in the bud. So it was a little bit hairy. You can see she sort of hung over the fence a bit, that moment when they're like, ooh, are they going to go? Are they not going to go? But yeah, for me, when it's such a small fence, it's really important that she learns that she can't run out. And then she came round, jumped it really nicely, and that little log that we actually had a canter stride over, again, we got a little glimpse of her being quite a talented little pony somewhere in there. And just back round to test that she learned of that over that fence, and yeah, she really did.
She's got a nice jump when she thinks.
Hasn't she? Mate, she's sweet. I like her.
So sweet and so chilled.
Yeah.
Oh, I could literally do this all day. I have to force myself to stop in a minute.
Yeah, I think you should take her through the water.
Yeah, I'll take to the water. I'd quite like to jump that little thing.
Okay.
Maybe the minion thing, just because it's spooky.
Yeah.
Then yeah, we'll go to the water and that'll do her.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I just can't stress how much I love doing these baby ponies. I think it's just really nice. Like, they're so rewarding, and you just go out with much lower expectations. Feel like you can only really win with them. So then I was feeling brave, came around and did a bit of a bigger and a spookier fence, but impressively, she had learnt from the last attempted run out. And yeah, we had a squiggly jump. It wasn't the prettiest, but she went. She showed willingness, and as I've been saying this whole time, that is the main thing with young horses, is to make this fun, make it enjoyable, and if they're willing, you have won the battle. So we come around again. Do we jump out of canter? No way. Wow. I'm impressed with myself more than Winnie there. What a big brave girl, Meg, well done. But no, I mean, Winnie was epic there. It's very wobbly. She's very baby, but I'm just so pleased with her. I'm really, really impressed with how she went this day. So we do head over to the water now, and in hindsight, I wish I had left the session there because she'd been so good, and this water is not very inviting for babies when it's like this. It's just very muddy. It smells a little bit. We'd had absolutely no rain at this point. So yeah, it wasn't very inviting. And it was a bit of a stupid question to ask her when she'd been so good and when I didn't have another lead horse because obviously no one could ride Jam. So yeah, to be honest, guys, this wasn't my best move. But thankfully, I did realise that in the moment. So I let her have a sniff. I ended up getting off her and seeing if she'd walk through it with me. She wasn't particularly keen, so I was like, you know what, you really, like, this isn't a battle to pick for today. Like, it's really not worth it, and she had kind of valid reasons to not want to go in. So instead of making it a massive thing and kind of reinforcing a hatred of water, we just left it. Like, really, really pleased with her still. Loads of pats and everything. And yeah, it's just something now I know that I've raised the question. When I next go somewhere, I'll make sure that it's a venue that has quite an inviting water for youngsters. And I'll have a lead horse there. And to be honest, I really don't think I'll have much of a problem. But yeah, stay tuned with Winnie's water journey. Maybe I'll do a video on how I eventually get her in when it comes to it. Good girl, Winnie. Mwah. We've left the water discussion for another day because the water here is quite muddy at the minute because we've obviously had no rain for ages, so it wasn't really worth pushing too much. But very, very, very pleased with her. Okay, then while I've got you here, let's have a look at how it went with Jammy. Now, I thought at the time, and until I've watched this footage, that this was one of the worst jumping sessions I've ever had with Jam. Not because of Jam, to be fair, because of me. So there we have it, the first pull away. I don't know if I've already mentioned or not, but this is basically Jammy's first proper jump since Badders. So it had been 4 or 5 weeks since I jumped her, I think. Yeah, so a reasonable amount of time, and I think naively, I kind of thought that I was going to come out and jump like I jumped at badminton. I hadn't really stopped to think that maybe the nerves wouldn't have all gone away just because badminton went well. It is something I have to keep working on. Thankfully, we did this with enough time before I went to Gatcombe that it was fine because it did come back. But I think my expectations were just a little bit too high of myself and of Jam. Because although Jam wasn't badly behaved by any stretch of the imagination, she was a bit rusty. She hadn't done it in a while. She was a bit excited. She was a bit strong, which meant she was jumping a little bit flat. And obviously I was giving her very mixed messages because I kept pulling her out of fences and just being quite indecisive, I would say. It does start to improve a little bit once I kind of, get into my flow a bit. I think I do struggle to kind of jump from one horse to the next. At least I did actually engage my legs then. Especially when you're going from something as baby as Winnie to then obviously, what is my top horse essentially. It is quite a big disparity. So then we popped the fences up again. Stupidly, I had the intention of coming here and jumping a course of a metre because I was like, that's what I'm doing at Gatcombe, I need to do that. And having spoken with Katie since, she was like, it was really daft to go out with that expectation when it had been such a long gap that you're only going to make things more stressful for yourself. Exhibit A, we'd put them up here now, and the nerves were kicking in a bit, and then I was just panicking. So Katie said, look, we should have gone out with much sort of more, not even lowered, but realistic expectations for both myself and Jam, and then we probably wouldn't have had that moment mid-session where you just kind of panicked. Anyway, that's kind of the point I got to, and I wasn't feeling massively confident, so I went and jumped around the show jumping versions of the cross-country fences, and then went for a little gallop. But overall, it was actually a productive session. And yeah, looking back, it wasn't nearly as bad as it felt. So I need to remind myself of that. We are going home. I don't know how much of a vlog this is going to have been, guys, to be honest, because it's been really stressful, isn't it, Hobbs? Poor Hobbs have been playing Seaman PA. New job title, isn't it?
Yes, it's not something I want to carry on doing, thank you.
Shipping that seaman anywhere you like, guys. You want seaman, talk to this woman.
Oh dear.
No, all done. Star pony was definitely Winnie Woo. So pleased with her. She was absolutely mega. Like, she's jumped so little. She's probably, oh, we're going backwards. You could just go straight out that way. Yeah. Yeah. How many times do you reckon she jumped? Like, properly? I think Bex has jumped her probably once or twice maybe. Then I've probably jumped her once or twice as well. And literally over like single fences kind of thing. So absolutely, actually I think Bex did do a little grid. But no, so chuffed with her. The fact she went and did little cross country fences. She was really not that spooky and felt really soft. Bizarrely, she felt like softer and less spooky than Jam, which is, you know, fantastic, because Jam's the one that's meant to be actually going out and competing. Jammy was good, and in fairness, we all know it's not just like Jam's fault, is it? I definitely get more tense and stressed.
When the fences go up.
Yeah, God, if I could,
here at your 60, 70.
aren't I? Getting horses up to 80 is my favourite thing to do. I would rather get on a horse that's never jumped and pop it over cross poles than jump my own horses around a metre. It's just ludicrous. I think, like, Jam, we got there a bit and it was kind of a bit of a kick up the bum, because she's not really jumped properly since Badders. I've jumped her literally over a single fence at home for a photo shoot. So yeah, I think we were definitely out of practice. And the good thing is we've done this 2 weeks before Gatcombe, so it means that I can at least jump her again at home, like twice more, which is what I need to do.
Potentially go to Allen's Hill, I suppose, next week on
yeah,
Tuesday, possibly.
would you mind? Would you drive me there?
I haven't looked at my diary.
Should I look at a diary? I'd really like that, Mum, if you wouldn't mind. I just feel like I can't do it when I'm unsupervised. Honestly, I feel like a naughty child jumping their pony when they're not allowed to.
Yes, well maybe that's a good idea. We find
Maybe
some
I'll,
supervision for
yeah,
you.
I just need anyone to supervise me. Anyone that's not you guys, because you guys don't like big jumps either.
Well, that's not true. I wanted to put them up. You're always telling me to put them down.
No.
Yes. Okay, well let's find out who it's with.
I'm going to try and do that, guys, and I'll try and vlog it if I do that. But no, I am pleased, and it was like, we didn't have anything horrendous. It's just I need to get it into my head that just because I've done badminton, it doesn't mean that all the nerves have gone away.
No,
it's not like,
true.
oh, you've built up to the thing that you really wanted to do, so now you'll be fine. It's like, they're one of those annoying things that it's going to keep being there and keep stopping. Yeah, a bit annoying, but it's fine. I'll have my calls with lovely Katie, and we'll be all good. We were literally just talking about the ground and how hard it is, so if we get no rain in the next 2 weeks, who knows if we'll actually go to
That's the
Gatcombe.
thing with your nerves. If you were doing it twice a week, you'd just keep on top of it. But because you do it, then there's been a gap for a month and you're busy doing other things. They come back, don't they?
Yeah, that's why, like, I am quite keen to go to Gatcombe, because I don't think I'll. If we don't go to Gatcombe, it'll be too big a gap. I think I'll have to do another 90 before I go to 100.
Well, there's no problem with that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could always drop down at Gatcombe if I wanted to.
You could.
But
If you start to feel more nervous after you jump to next week, for example.
yeah, good, let's do that. And then if I feel
Then
heavy,
you can
I'll do
see.
a 90, then I'll try and do a 100 like 2 weeks later or something.
Yes,
Just
no.
keep it more. I need it in my little brain.
It's supposed to be fun, isn't it? And there's no right or wrong.
No, I had a cracking time on Winnie. I love it. Honestly, all these people sending me horses that's like, oh yeah, it's done one novice. No. I wanted to have jumped a cross pole because I wanted an excuse to jump 80 for 2 more years.
Well, I think you should just do that. Produce them up to their first 90s.
Maybe we should go back to Elphick.Event.Ponies business plan A, which was producing ponies and selling them.
Yeah. Because we both enjoyed that a lot, didn't we?
Oh dear, oh dear. Alright guys, well I hope this makes it to the Chan Chan. If it doesn't, there'll be stuff on Instagram. But this conversation is irrelevant if it doesn't. So I live, laugh, love you, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
Comment down below if you're excited about me. Bye! Turn it off now, Meg. Alright, see ya.
I'm excited about Winnie.
I'm excited about Winnie. You better comment down below then, Mum.
Okay, I'll try and remember.
Alright, see you later.